everybody. It's Little Black. He's all wound up with his bone. It's holiday time. He's getting treats too. God, it's hilarious. So today on Lunch with Leah, as you're watching Little Black at Little Black Miami on Instagram and Twitter, he's watching on Twitter. He's running around like a banshee. We're going to talk about all sorts of crazy fun, crazy Looney Tune, everything I find humorous, which is pretty much everything in the world today. And we're going to talk about that. Should I put him down? You want down? Oh my God, the dog has more handlers than I don't know, who has handlers? The Queen of England, the handmaidens. All right, so, look at these. I don't really need them. They're clear, but they're just so fabulous, it makes me feel important to wear them. What do you think? Oh my God, look, I've got all my Leah Black jewelry on today. Am I fabulous? Okay. Oh, and these, don't forget my Cartier copies. They're not really Cartier, but they look Cartier, the Panther. Okay, so listen to what I want to talk about. We're going to talk about Don't Be Tardy, the Beverly Hills Housewives, the Atlanta Housewives, Scientology, questions that came in, a little bit of the Mariah Carey show, the $1 million listing in Los Angeles, and I brought my hat in honor of the ladies of London. What was the guy's name that likes the hat? Kyle Clark. I brought a hat to put on for him. And blah, blah, blah. Now, this is our last Lunch with Leah until January the 4th, Wednesday, 2 weeks. We're going to take off for Christmas and New Year's. So you guys are going to miss me. So when I get back, I'm expecting to have tons of questions at helloleahblack.com. So what do you want to start with? Oh, God, let's just start with, where should we start? Okay, let's start with the Real Housewives of Atlanta because I left them out of the, what do you call it? The table of contents. I only know how to write. That's it. Read my book. Oh, we're crazy today. It's holiday season. Well, Kenya's boyfriend, this may be old news to you, but I just saw it, kicked in the door of the damn garage. Oh my God, that would have horrified me. And then she goes out and starts reasoning with him. I might have just called security. I don't know. I feel sorry for the guy. I think he's probably a good guy. But what is it with these girls in Atlanta and the men that they pick? They always surprise me. I mean, why doesn't someone get a professor? You know, or a entrepreneur, business, global person with a plane. They always get these guys that are either going to go to jail, or they're going to kick in the thing, or they're going to threaten the wife, or they don't have any money, or whatever, you know, I don't know, or they can't, whatever. She's such a pretty girl that she's just gorgeous, and why should have put up with a guy that kicks her garage door in, you know, I mean, God bless her. I hope it all works out if she's in love with the guy, and his family was cute when they went to meet them. And he's probably a nice guy, but I mean, he shouldn't have done that. He could have cut his toe and then he would have sued her. And then Portia's babysitting. Oh my Lord. Portia needs to go take some babysitting classes if she's really thinking about having a baby. She was handling the 2 kids, and you would have thought she was, you know, handling like the Civil War. She was Churchill or something. I mean, she made the biggest deal out of it, but the kids couldn't be cuter. Portia was good with them. I think she's good for TV, but I still remember that she hit somebody or pulled that hair or dragged them across the room at the reunion. I think once you cross that line of physical violence, there should be some consequences there. But I do like her on the show. Then Mama Joyce is in the car when Candy gets the phone from the ex-husband wanting to see the now 14 or 15 or 16-year-old daughter, Riley. And Mama Joyce goes off ballsy, got any money? Send a check if he wants to see her. It's like, she just doesn't hold back anything. And I felt sorry for Candy because, you know, Candy's trying to do the right thing, but at the same time, you know, you can't just let someone have their cake and eat it too. There have to be some consequences for their actions, and they have to take some responsibility. But I just thought that Mama Joyce going off was like the old days when she used to go off. And maybe it was, well, I won't say it. Never you mind. Okay. And then go to Don't Be Tardy. Well, I've always loved Kim Zolciak. If you watched the Miami show, rest in peace, the Ern's not here anymore. Kim came to one of my galas years ago, before Tardy to the Party was even a popular thing, and she was going to perform it at my charity event. Well, it got a little confusing. I won't get into all the details, but she got nervous, and she kind of performed it, but she was just a hoot and a holler. I just love her. And so now she goes to get this EKG, and then, you know, it was a little abnormal. Well, that right away would have put me in the hospital on an IV. But then when she starts going through the family history of everybody that's had a heart attack and or died, I was hyperventilating. And I mean, she put her game face on and she seemed so strong about it and everything. And I was like, I would have checked myself into the hospital, had myself on an IV, had on the heart monitor, had 17 doctors monitoring me, and I would have been like a frenzy nervous wreck. She just kept going on about her business. And then when she got in the car, she's like taking selfies of herself and cries over there driving. I'm like, you're taking selfies of yourself when you just had this whole thing with the doctor that you might have a bad heart? I mean, oh my God. God bless these people that can just move on with things. I stress too much. Then, oh, speaking of, who's watching Scientology? The special with Leah Remini. Oh my God. Well, first of all, I did read her book, and I always thought the book was amazing, but I never thought she would get this much traction with it. And God bless her. She is one brave girl. And I think everybody should watch that Scientology video and share it with everybody you know. I read the book on Tom Cruise, his biography, unauthorized biography, years back. And the whole story of Scientology came in there. And I was like, wow, somebody really wants to sell this book. This can't all be true. Well, it turns out with all these first-hand witnesses, a lot of this is true. So that was a shocker to me, and I think everyone should really watch it because, I mean, you got to save these people from themselves. They're being brainwashed. Oh, questions that came in. Oh, I'll come to that in a minute. Oh, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Well, Lisa Rinna's two daughters are going to be big models, I guess, following in the footsteps of Yolanda's two gorgeous model daughters. And then Lorena says, well, I should have stayed in good with Yolanda. I was like, that's funny, that's hilarious. Like, I don't really like her, but I should have stayed in good with her anyway, just, you know, in case I need some advice for my daughters. I'm kidding. But anyway, I thought that was cute. And then Erica, we've got a Pantygate going on. Pantygate. You know, in the other world, they call it gate. Well, in this world, it's called Pantygate. Well, I thought it was hilarious that the guy sitting across, the other one's husband, Dorette's husband's going, well, I liked The View. We should have her on The View. Oh my God, these girls. But I agree with her. Who wants to have a perfectly coiffed dress and have panty lines showing? I would agree with that. Anyway, it was just hilarious. And then Lisa Vanderpump's sense of humor, I mean, when she went up the skirt and everything, I mean, I think she's funny, but not everybody gets it, but I did. And happy birthday to Ken. Happy birthday, baby. You know I love Ken. He and our buddies. I've known them for years before they were on the show. Anyway, and then poor Eileen. Oh my God, I felt so bad about her mother and that house and everything. It was so sweet. But then when she goes to the therapist and starts going through all the people that have died in her family in the last couple of years, oh my God, I'd go straight to the astrologist to make sure I wasn't next. I mean, that was terrifying to me, and it just really broke my heart. She's such a sweet girl, and she looks so pretty this season, and my heart did break for her. I want her to get this book. I'm going to send it to her. It's called Life on the Other Side by Sylvia Brown. If you've ever had anyone close to you pass away, or even if you haven't, it's just such a great book. It just makes you feel so good about living on the other side. Life on the Other Side by Sylvia Brown. Then, because James and Jason said, you should be watching Ladies of London, it's hysterical. So I let it go on while it was on, and I watched the first part of it. Well, I will tell you the most impressive thing in the whole show was the girl that had the two Hermes cuffs side by side. I have two of those cuffs. I've never worn them together. I'm now going to start wearing them together. More is more. I love that. And then the other, well, I'm not on a leash, darling. I can't be controlled. Oh, they're so funny. They're just hilarious. Now, I know this Caroline. I met her in Los Angeles at parties. And her mom, I think, lives in San Diego, and she's a lovely girl. But when she was on the show, the way she was depicted, I never saw that side of her. But she obviously doesn't like, nobody's going to put baby in a corner. She does not like to be backed into a corner. So I don't know. I think they're kind of fascinating. But you know, they're just so proper. And I like that so proper thing that they've got going on over there. We could use a little bit more of that here in this country. A little more proper once in a while. You know, everything's just so laid back here now. Okay, so then let's see, what else are we going to talk about? Oh, the holidays are coming up. I just think everyone's just like so frenzied. The traffic's crazy. People are shopping. It's hard to buy gifts for people that have everything. I think you should donate to charity for people that have everything. Speaking of charity, oh my God, what's going on in Aleppo is killing me. It's breaking my heart. I just sent out this tweet, and I think I titled it, "How Can the World Stand By and Watch This?" I want you guys to watch it. It's these two little girls that the dad's holding on their shoulder, and I won't tell you any more than that. I saw it on Joyce George's Instagram, but I don't know how to repost anything. So I had to get the guys here to figure out how to pull it up so I could tweet it, because everybody in the world should see it. It's just so unbelievable. And I do think our country and our president's doing everything they can, but when you're fighting against, you know, Assad and Iran and the other factions, it's like, it's just such a helpless situation. It's just so heartbreaking, but you should watch it. Then,
what your Christmas wish is?
My Christmas wish? Oh, for everybody to be happy, healthy, prosperous, and send me a lot of bling.
That was from Judy Sutton in Chicago.
What?
That was from Judy Sutton in Chicago.
Oh, Judy in Chicago. Then I'm watching Mariah Carey. Oh my God. She's hilarious. Do people really live like this? Now, you know, people on her team don't get along. I get it. Then she's got this new boyfriend that's the backup singer, happens to be on the show at the time when she was planning the wedding, and now they're apparently together, and the wedding is called off, but she kept the ring. I hope she kept the stone if she sent the ring back. I mean, what an awkward, incestuous mess. This is how these people live. I think it's just hilarious. So anyway, I don't know what's going to happen about that, but if anybody finds out, let me know. The tabloids say she's with the backup dancer. I don't know, is she? I don't really care. I liked the guy she was engaged to. Who wouldn't? All those planes and yachts and handmaidens. I mean, how fabulous would that be? Oh my gosh, let's see. She says the ultimate dish when she was asked, well, what about this actress or that singer? She goes, oh, I don't know them. When everybody on the planet but her knows them. I think sometimes people hate being ignored more than they hate being talked about. Then let's see. The questions that came in. What sign is RJ, Roy, and you? I'm Pisces. Roy's Aquarius. And RJ, thanks to his mother, he's in there by the way, is an Aries, which is a very good sign. Because he was going to be born on his natural birthday, would have made him a Taurus. Well, I did my research like any good mother-to-be would, and a Taurus is apparently are very stubborn. I cannot deal with stupid, and I cannot deal with stubborn. So I thought, I cannot have a Taurus kid. He'll be stubborn and we'll never get along. So I called the doctor. He goes, well, you can have the baby 2 days earlier. If you induce labor, it's still safe for the baby. I'm like, I'm in. He'll be an Aries, barely an Aries. I'm so happy. Well, then I find out he's sitting straight up, and I'm going to have a cesarean section anyway. So now I call the doctor. I go, let's make him a little more Aries and move it up 1 week more. We did. So he's an Aries. Thank God to his mother for being on top of everything. I can't deal with the stubborn child, and I'm sure you can relate to that. What else? Questions? Oh my God. According to this, we had 78 emails asking about the Housewives of Miami again. Are we not over that yet?
Somebody just asked.
Somebody else just asked again? What'd they say?
Jill Holly wants to know, do you still talk to the other house?
Do I talk to the others? Some of them I never talked to. I talked past. No, and over their heads. The number one question was, why do you think, I didn't read this, you guys wrote it in, let's see, why do you think they were plotting against you? What went on behind the scenes? Oh, I don't think they were, I know they were. They were all getting together at someone's place that I know in Spanish, gabbing 100 miles an hour about how they were going to tear me down or take me down, and I didn't know what was going to hit me. So later, after the show, the girl tells me about it just over lunch one day, one of my good friends, and I'm like, why didn't you tell me before they did it? And she goes, we thought that's how the show worked. We thought it was part of the show. So they were plotting to tear me down. I didn't know. I was blindsided here. I'm trying to help promote every one of them and help them make contacts and introduce them to people. And they're trying to tear me down. And I was like, I'm so stupid. I was like, I get a question about them, and you know, I take the high road. Of course, taking the high road's easy when the low road's the gutter. And I'm taking the high road, saying nice things, and they're over here trashing me. Who knew? Oh, God, it's all, they're just too much. I can't. Anyway, that's what went on behind the scenes. Oh, yeah, and then last week's episode, so those were the comments. Oh, then, don't forget, January 4th will be our next show. You gotta follow me on Twitter and Facebook at Leah Black Miami, and also on Instagram. And, oh my God, how fabulous is all of my jewelry. And then, you know, Kyle wants me to wear that hat. Do we have any more questions coming in? And I'll show Kyle the hat before we close out here. Did I miss anything? That was pretty quick today, wasn't it? Oh my God, did we miss anything? Oh, one more thing. I can't. You know, you're watching these shows on TV now, and the commercial of The Apprentice keeps coming up. I cannot get past the fact that a guy's going to go on TV and be an expert at firing people when he couldn't even fire Mildred, the housekeeper, before he effed her in the wife's house while the wife was pregnant. I just can't get past it. I can't, you know, like if we ran into him, my husband would probably shake his hand. I'd probably be like, don't get near me. I mean, I just can't. Don't be firing people if you can't fire your own help before you screw them, okay? Now, let's go on. Did I miss anything? Any more questions before we go on to our fabulous Kyle? Okay, Kyle. I hope everybody, oh, I know what, when we come back, have your New Year's resolutions, send them in. Let's see who has the best New Year's resolutions in January. I'll start making my list and checking it twice. I brought you another hat today, Kyle. And you said you, Kyle? Yeah, you said you wanted a Kyle Clark. Oh, I like that name. It sounds sexy. You said you wanted a floppy hat. I found one. Ready? Where's the bow?
It's in the back.
Fabulous. Just simply fabulous, darling. Fabulous. I feel like the ladies of London and Lisa Vanderpump. I'll see you January 4th. Email us, tweet us, Instagram us. Buy from me a little black dot com. No, little black Miami.
At Little Black Miami.
At Little Black